Hey guys, Joe Tunney here at Infiniti of Kirkland in Kirkland, Washington, just outside of Seattle. And I was reading Edmunds.com before doing this video about this 2000 Infiniti I30 that we just took in on trade. And the opening line for describing the car says, though largely forgettable and entirely unremarkable, the Infiniti I30 makes use of some extra interior space and whatnot to become whatever kind of car it is that they think it is. And so I think about it as I look at that and I think, you know what, 2000 was the first year of the all-new Infiniti I30, and forgettable and unremarkable are definitely not the first two words that would come to mind in thinking about this car. This is one of the coolest cars in the category, and for a variety of reasons. In 2000, I mean, it was a fresh new look. I mean, you're comparing this against maybe like a 2000 Honda Accord or something like that, especially in the sub $5,000 price range. And this is much nicer looking than some rudimentary sedan from 14 years ago as this video is being filmed. Now, this has the new VQ30 engine. We use VQ engines to this very day, but it was new for the i30. And so what's significant about that VQ30 engine is, especially when you're looking at one used, no timing belt. It's all chain driven, just like all of our Infinitis are now. Prior to this, they were all belt driven. And so you'd be looking at expensive timing belt replacements on these engines. Not the case here. The chain outlives the car, and so it's something that you never hear about getting replaced ever. And not only does it have a timing chain driven engine, it also has 227 horsepower and 213 pound-feet of torque. So very powerful compared to any of its competitors. And then it runs on regular gas, not on premium gas. So again, unremarkable and largely forgettable. No. This is a good-looking car with a powerful, very reliable engine. And then this particular car has service records that are almost comical. It is a one-owner trade-in here at Infiniti of Kirkland on a new Infiniti G37X. And the prior owner has so many service records that we ran out of paper trying to print it up. I mean, literally like 100 service records for this car that take 300 pages to print up. And so everything that was ever requested at the service department, whether here at Infiniti of Kirkland or the other Infiniti store that we own down south, Infiniti of Tacoma, it's always been done. And so the service records on this particular car are absolutely amazing. Really, it's just a truly amazing find, really. You'll never find a 2000 car that's in this kind of condition. And so the salespeople give me a hard time and they're like, oh, you don't want to film an ad on this car, it's dirty, it just got traded in. No, I actually want to do the video with the car dirty. I think it really showcases just how nice this car is. Sure, once we detail it, it'll look great, but it looks great right now. Come take a look around. The wheels are the one thing that's slowing this one down. They're kind of chewed up. I don't know if they had chains or something like that, snow chains or something. But whatever it is, the facades of all four wheels need some refinishing or whatever it is that they need to be addressed. This one also has window tint. If I look around the driver's side of this car, I mean, there's not one scratch. There's not a door ding. Here, I take it back. There's one super minuscule door ding right there. For a 14-year-old car with 172,000 miles, you gotta be kidding me. If I look inside, the leather looks great. The doors look great. They're not all ripped and cracked or anything like that. I mean, you kind of take a lot of things for granted. It's a 2000 car with 172,000 miles. If the steering wheel's beat up, it's like, okay, I can live with that, but it's not. It's in excellent condition. I take a look at the back seat. We haven't cleaned it up. We haven't vacuumed. I mean, dirty, whatever, but again, the back seat looks dynamite. Now, again, it's a larger car. It's essentially the gourmet version of the Nissan Maxima. Nissan Maxima is considered the 4D SC, as they called it for many years, four-door sports car. And then this one is just proportioned so that you get a little more full size in it. If I jump into the back seat, I'm 6 feet tall, even though the front seat's all the way back and reclined. I'm actually really comfortable. And then you notice these two these little tags right here. You start seeing these around 2000, is that not only does it have side airbags integrated into the chair, but this was the first car I can remember ever seeing that had active headrests. And so how active headrests work is if you get hit from behind, the headrest actually comes up and goes forward and comes and catches your head so your neck doesn't snap back against it to prevent whiplash. It actually uses your lower back. As your lower back gets pushed into the seat, it actually pushes on a bar in the seat that forces this to come up and forward, again, to prevent against whiplash. A cool advance that we use to this day. Remote trunk release, that's cool. And then again, it's dirty, I get it, there's crumbs and whatnot in there, but it still looks great. The actual material is quite nice. And then, of course, this is a front-wheel drive car. This is the last front-wheel drive car that Infiniti ever made, and why they got rid of this platform is just idiotic. There's no other way to say it. This was just a dynamite car, a very, very popular car, and they should have never gotten rid of it. They should have just expanded on it, came out with a new body style of it. Instead, they replaced it with a G, which is a dynamite car, but a completely different kind of car. We don't have anything with trunk space like this. This is like a big Oldsmobile. You have so much trunk room in here. Our cars to this day don't have this kind of trunk room, even in our larger cars. If I look around the passenger side, again, it looks dynamite, and this car is dirty, and it's just, there's no dents, there's no scratches. 172,000 miles, you're willing to live with a lot of dents, a lot of bruises, and a lot of scrapes. This just doesn't have any. Let's jump inside and turn it on. Digital climate control, Bose stereo. A lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, I don't like the Bose stereo system because it has individually amplified speakers. One of them goes out, it sounds all sketchy, and I agree with that. The difference with this prior owner is that clearly they listen to a lot of news radio, and so it didn't put a lot of wear and tear on the speakers. The stereo looks great, everything sounds great. This car also has a glass moonroof, heated seats, it has a power sunshade in the back, and so although it has tinted windows, you can get that extra element of kind of that cool, dark experience on the inner cabin here. It's in great condition. One owner, perfect Carfax, little star in the window right there that looks like it's been filled. Just went through our shop 3 days ago, and we didn't even pay for it to go through the shop. The customer was in service and then saw a car that they liked and bought it, and so this was their trade-in. A different kind of car for $4,500. I mean, I would imagine that most people have 10 or 12 cars on their list, and you know, in that sub $5,000 category, maybe the i30 isn't on that because A, there aren't that many around, and B, people just don't know that much about it. But for people who do know, this is a car that you could keep for 3 or 4 years, turn around and sell it for 2 or 3 grand, and it's like, what are we talking about? I have features and power and amenities and luxury like modern $20,000 and $30,000 cars that I can keep for 2 or 3 years, and the entire expense of this car is like $1,500 or $2,500. I mean, it's like nothing. And so if you want something that's different and nice and cool and something that you feel great owning and it's reliable and everything else, this is definitely a car. If you miss this, I mean, we won't get another car like this for 5 years. That is no joke. But if you have any questions about this particular car, give me a call anytime. My name's Joe Tunney. I'm the sales manager at Infiniti of Kirkland. You can reach me anytime at 425-821-1600, or just drop me an email at joet@infinitiofkirkland.com.